If you have a 10-year green card, you know that feeling, right? That little bit of anxiety that creeps in as you see that expiration date getting closer. You start to wonder, is this thing really permanent? Can I just keep renewing it forever? Well, today we're going to break down exactly what that expiration date means, and more importantly, what it doesn't.
And this is the big question. It's the one that keeps people up at night. You see that date on the calendar, and it's almost impossible not to think, oh no, is this it? Am I about to lose my status just because this little piece of plastic is expiring?
The answer, and let's just get this out of the way, is a huge, simple no. Your permanent resident status does not expire when your card does. Just let that sink in for a second. It's a massive relief, and it is the single most important key to understanding everything else we're about to cover.
Okay, so to really get our heads around this, we need to pull two things apart: your status and the physical card itself. This is, without a doubt, the most critical distinction to make. Once you really grasp this, everything else just clicks into place. So take a look at how this breaks down. Over on the left, you have your permanent resident status. Think of this as your invisible legal right to live and work in the U.S. forever. It's permanent, just like the name says. Then on the right, you have the green card. That's just the physical ID, the proof of your status. That piece of plastic is the only thing that expires every 10 years, not your actual right to be here. And this analogy just nails it. Think about it. Just because your plastic driver's license card expires doesn't mean you've suddenly forgotten how to drive, right? Of course not. You're still a licensed driver. You just need to get a new, updated card. It's the exact same logic for your green card.
So you're probably thinking, okay, I get it. My status is permanent. So why do I have to go through this whole renewal hassle every 10 years? And you know what? That's a great question. And there are some really practical, common sense reasons behind it.
And when you look at the reasons, it just makes sense. Technology changes, right? So they need to update the card's security features to stay ahead of fraud. People's appearances change, so a new photo every decade is a good idea. People move, so they need your current address. And finally, they do new biometric screenings. It's all about keeping the system secure and up to date.
So here's the best part, the crucial takeaway. There is absolutely no limit to how many times you can renew your green card. Seriously. It doesn't matter if it's your first renewal or your 5th renewal after being here for 50 years. You can keep renewing that card for the rest of your life as a permanent resident.
All right, so now that we've got the why figured out, let's dive into the how. Let's get practical and look at a simple checklist for the renewal process itself. Let's break it down.
First things first, timing is everything. You can't file too early, and you definitely don't want to file too late. So when is that perfect sweet spot for getting your application in?
The magic number is 6 months. You'll want to file your renewal application, which is called Form I-90, inside that 6-month window before your card expires. Now, be careful here. Don't file any earlier than that. If you do, they'll just reject the application and you'll have to start all over again. So go ahead and mark that 6-month date on your calendar.
And here it is, the whole process in 5 straightforward steps. First, you file that Form I-90. Then you pay the fees. Next, you'll go to a quick biometrics appointment for a new photo and fingerprints. Then comes the part everyone gets a little worried about, the wait. But don't you worry, we're about to cover exactly how you're protected during that time. And finally, your new card arrives, good for another decade. It seems a lot less intimidating when you see it all laid out like this, doesn't it?
Okay, let's talk about that waiting period, because it can be long, sometimes more than a year. And this is where that anxiety can start to creep back in. What if you need to prove your status for a new job? What if you need to travel? What do you do when your card is expired and you're just waiting? This is where your receipt notice becomes your absolute best friend. After you file your Form I-90, USCIS is going to mail you a document called Form I-797C. This piece of paper is incredibly, unbelievably important. Whatever you do not lose it.
Because get this, that one little receipt notice automatically extends the validity of your expired green card for an amazing 36 months. Yes, that's 3 full years. This gives USCIS way more than enough time to process your renewal, and it means you are never ever left in a legal gray area. It's a critical safety net built right into the system.
So what does this actually mean for your day-to-day life? It's simple. You take your expired card, you put it together with that official receipt notice, and that combo is your proof of status. You can continue to work, you can travel internationally, you can prove your legal status for a new job or anything else. You just carry both documents together, and life goes on completely as normal while you wait. Now, after hearing all of this, you might be starting to think, Do I really want to do this whole renewal dance every 10 years for the rest of my life? Well, there is another path. There's an alternative you can take that ends this cycle of renewal for good.
And that path, of course, is naturalization, becoming a U.S. citizen. Most permanent residents are actually eligible to apply after just 5 years. And if you're married to a U.S. citizen, that waiting period can be as short as 3 years. This table makes the difference so clear. Your ID changes from a green card to a U.S. passport. But look at that middle row. That's the game changer. The renewal requirement, it just, poof, gone. You never have to worry about renewing an immigration document ever again. While both statuses are lifelong, becoming a citizen just removes that recurring 10-year chore from your life.
So ultimately, it all comes down to a choice you get to make. Roughly every 10 years, you come to a fork in the road. Do you renew your card and continue on as a permanent resident, which is a perfectly great option, or do you decide to take that next step and apply for citizenship? It's a personal decision, and now you have the info you need to think about what your next decade and all the ones after that might hold.